My name is Ben Abney. North Side boy, went to school at McLean High School, became a tennis player, was able to get good enough at playing tennis that I came to TU on an athletic tennis scholarship. Being raised by a single mom is tough, but when you have the ability to educate yourself at a school as good as TU, you have a path. I went to TU undergraduate and TU law school and got a law degree in 1968. After about 2 years, 4 of us that went to TU formed our law firm. That was in March of 1972. It grew and grew and grew and grew to over 100 lawyers.
From the time I first met Ben, it was obvious how much he loved the university and how much it was a central focus of his life and his career as a lawyer.
You know, you've got to care about the guy to really represent him, and we cared about every one of them. Someone that you've never met comes into your office, closes the door, and they sit down and tell you the most intimate, sometimes the most heartbreaking things about their situation, and it's your job to see if you can do something to help them.
I have a lot of pride in the fact that Ben is my partner and has been now for 40-some years. In my experience, nobody could deserve the Lifetime Achievement Award more than Ben.
I'm Exhibit A for someone who educated himself out of poverty. The law school and the undergraduate program also allowed me the opportunity to see things, do things, and get myself to a point where I could improve myself. I'm not here so much as Ben Abney. I'm really an extension of Briggs Abney, and I think that's the reason I'm getting this award.
Here's what you're going to find practicing law. The lawyers who are civil, professional, okay, high degree integrity, always take the high road, and more important than anything else, always be prepared. They're going to be the most successful. The interesting thing about being a trial lawyer, you walk into the courtroom, you are a bundle of nerves. You're always going to be nervous. I'm going to tell you why. When the day comes that you're not nervous, you need to get out of business. Because that's when you find out you're prepared.
You know, I was born in a little town in Mississippi called Mound Bayou, Mississippi. A town of about 3,100 people, and I actually grew up on a farm. My Uncle Carlos was practicing law at that time, and I thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd follow his path and go into business. Carlos had an effect on every major decision that I made in my life. He had a small practice, so he had to be a businessman, run the practice, but he also was representing everyday citizens in our community.
Judge Chappelle made the city and the county a better place. He influenced not only his immediate family, but his church community, but the legal community, by the way he treated people, by the way that he practiced law, and the way he represented the court and the Tulsa County Courthouse. You
know, Judge Chappelle was not one to scold. I think that he believed in positive influence, positive outlook on life, and I think that if you talk to any one group of young men that came to see him in his courtroom, I think he was always positive about, you can do this. When he looked at you and he listened to you, he listened to you. And that's all you can ask of a judge. He embodied what a judge should be. I was extremely lucky to practice in front of him. He would truly be honored, because I don't think he would have expected just 30 years ago that he would have been honored in this way. He did have a legacy that will outlive him and hopefully inspire other young lawyers, minority lawyers, and lawyers in general to aspire to be what he was, a good lawyer, a great judge, and a good person.
I'm John Edward Dowdell. I'm a alum from the University of Tulsa, clerked at the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals for the next 2 years, and then I was in practice of law for 30 years and became a judge in 2012. A lot of young people come see me about the law, about what should I do. I tell them a story that whatever you're thinking right now, it may happen, but if you go to law school, and this is a great place to do it, your path's probably gonna change, and just go with it.
There are a lot of aspects to being a lawyer. Number one, you need to know what the law is. You need to know how to formulate that, both orally and in writing. And hopefully you need to have an ability to make those presentations in court. And I can truly say, John, he simply does all of those things better than anybody else I've ever had to deal with.
The challenge of a judge is to get it right without regard to any bias. But I try to really know the defendant, and I think that the power to take away liberty is huge.
He has and will continue to make those tough decisions for the betterment of the people who appear before him, and therefore for the betterment of the society at large, and certainly the city of Tulsa.
I just want to thank the College of Law for making this decision. It's very sweet. I'm honored.
I am Cathy Taylor. I am a lawyer by training, but I entered public service as Secretary of Commerce, Tourism, and Workforce Development with Governor Brad Henry, and then had an idea that I should run for mayor, and I did, and served the city as mayor, and then returned to state government to really follow my passion, that is to serve as Chief of Education Strategy for Governor Henry. Well, I've always wanted to use my background and my training to make a difference, and that's been, I think, the most rewarding thing over the last decade, working with our family foundation, and now watching Elizabeth take that foundation and our focus on entrepreneurship to heights that I would have never imagined a decade ago.
I'm Elizabeth Ellison. I'm the president and CEO of the Lobeck Taylor Family Foundation. I went to OU for undergraduate and law school. My family asked me temporarily to take over the foundation. I started and just completely fell in love with it. It's the best parts of analyzing policy, studying strategy, and then you also get the counseling side of getting to meet with people and talk to people who need help and really desire to help. When actually Elizabeth came to me with Dean Levitt and said, we have a need at the law school, and it seemed to fit perfectly with our backgrounds, and helping to teach the next generation of lawyers that it's not just about making a living, it's about making a difference.
From the education perspective, I mean, what they are helping to do is train the next generation of lawyers who will be civically engaged and who will care about social justice and who will buy into the mission of improve and enhance the quality of life for every Oklahoman, not just the Oklahomans who have resources.
I am very honored to be inducted in the TU College of Law Hall of Fame, and it's a really special honor to be inducted with my mom, who's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Well, it's an amazing group of people that have been inducted and that are in this class, and again, a great university. So I'm honored that I was chosen, and it's exciting to be chosen with someone, with the group that I really admire, but with someone I particularly admire, and that's my awesome daughter.
One of the great things about being the Dean of the College of Law is that I get to meet, work with, and now honor some of the most terrific lawyers in the city of Tulsa. Our honorees tonight really have careers that I hope all of our students can emulate. This is what a TU lawyer should look like. Right? That's what these folks bring to us. But they also have a sense of community, a sense of kindness and warmth and humility, and are always willing to do whatever needs to be done to help everyone.